So, former NBA player Mychal Thompson, two-time NBA champion for the Lakers and a broadcaster for the Lakers, went on Outkick and spoke about Caitlin Clark and how WNBA stars resent her. Now, we are literally over a month away from the season starting, and we're going to see, obviously, Caitlin Clark go out there, put on a show. They went out and hired Stephanie White last year to replace their head coach. They also went and added some pieces to this roster to expand the core and build around Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Caitlin Clark. Obviously, they re-signed Kelsey Mitchell as well. And the Fever have the second best odds to win the WNBA championship. We'll see if they can meet those expectations. But I want to talk about what Mychal Thompson had to say. And he spoke the truth to me. He said this about Caitlin Clark with this acronym, JEEP, which stands for jealousy, envy, egos, and pettiness. And he was referring to the WNBA stars who have resented Caitlin Clark, the attention she's receiving. And it's obvious that some of these players don't like her and they don't like the fact she's getting all this love from fans out there. He says here, they don't like Caitlin Clark. I've been following her career since she was a sophomore at Iowa, and I recognize how different she was, how different she played the game. She played the game like Steph Curry. And he also said that now that she's in the WNBA, I'll tell you, she needs a Jeep endorsement, a commercial. He continued because Jeep is an acronym that I've come up with one of the ways she has been treated and not welcomed into the WNBA. And I'm very curious to see how the WNBA treats her this year and how the players are going to welcome her. Because if we see the same storylines this year, and let's just say the WNBA, last year they lost $40 million. If they lose more money this year, that's a bad sign. Let's just say it grows and they embrace her and the league loses like $20 million. That's a step in the right direction. You're still losing profit, but it's growing. Then you're heading in a better direction. But I think it's important for the league and the players to take full advantage of Caitlin Clark. Market every Fever game at home and on the road. Don't let up because she is going to eventually be the face of this league. And also says in an article here, Clark faced her share of critics, including frequent chirper Cheryl Swoops, and I'm sure she'll be saying more things this year. Will Caitlin Clark be a good pro? Absolutely. Swoops says of Gil's Arenas in April 2024. Will Caitlin Clark come to the WNBA and do what she's doing right now immediately? Absolutely not. Not going to happen. Obviously, that was true, but as the season progressed, she didn't give her any credit whatsoever. Later in the interview, Thompson admitted to being starstruck while covering the Fever last season. When I was leaving the Gainbridge Arena at a loading dock, Caitlin Clark walked right by me and I froze. I didn't say hello to her. How about that? He said. My favorite basketball player outside of Clay was right there in front of me. There she was, and I said, no, I can't do it. Caitlin Clark was right there next to me. So you can see a guy like Mychal Thompson, you could try to discredit what he says. The man knows basketball, got a ton of knowledge and credibility to back up these claims. And I'm very curious to see, again, how the league is going to treat Caitlin Clark going forward. Because obviously the league needs to grow. And Caitlin Clark needs to be at the forefront of pushing this league forward. And if they miss the ball again, that's a huge concern because after the season ended, who was talking about the WNBA? Let's just be honest. We weren't really paying attention. I know they started that league. I forget what it's even called at this point. I didn't even watch it on Max. I just didn't care about it. So I'm just curious to see if the league is going to push her forward, make sure that she's getting a ton of love and attention, and how the players are going to treat Caitlin Clark this year. Are they going to embrace her? Are they going to, talk about, well, look at her history. Let's not forget about the players who paved the way. Yes, we acknowledge that, but to be honest, no one really cared. We know about Sue Bird. We know about Diana Taurasi, but they didn't have the same aura or the same influence as a Caitlin Clark. Those are just facts. Doesn't mean those players aren't Hall of Famers, that they didn't contribute to the WNBA, but there's a change under the guard right now, and they have to capitalize on it. Because if they don't capitalize on this moment, when is this ever going to happen again? If you want to dismiss Caitlin Clark as a player who can just shoot the three and not a generational talent, you don't know basketball, in my opinion. The girl can hoop. She can play. She's a superstar in the making. And I'm excited for the Fever. If they can make a deep playoff run this year, that's good for the league because now Caitlin Clark's face is everywhere and people are talking about your league as the playoffs progress. But yeah, I'm just excited for her growth. Hopefully she can work on her mid-range game. I'm sure she has. I'm sure she's bulked up as well. And we'll do more coverage of Caitlin Clark as the WNBA season gets closer and do more videos on her. But yeah, I just am happy for a player like Mychal Thompson just telling the truth because at the end of the day, she's amazing to watch. And, I'm going to watch her playmaking last year. It was just so fun, the pace she was playing with. And it took her some time. Like, let's be honest, it did take her some time to adjust. But once she got settled in, Caitlin Clark was hooping, breaking assist records, doing all kinds of things out there. And I think she's only getting started. And that's a scary part. And you've put a better roster around her. You brought in a different coach who's going to, I believe, meet her needs and help Caitlin Clark reach a new level. And if she's hitting shots in the mid range, finishing better at the rim, and she's able to expand her game in those areas, she's going to be dangerous and just impossible to stop. Hopefully, she can also cut down the turnovers. But again, every major superstar like LeBron James, he turned the ball over a lot, and at the end of the day, that shouldn't really be a huge factor on her. They shouldn't diminish her greatness because we've seen other great players turn the ball over a lot and still end up being Hall of Famers. But it'd also be nice to see her cut down on those turnovers. So I'm just curious to see what the style play is going to be for the Fever. Are they going to play with a lot of pace? Are they going to have some balance here? Because in the half court sets, it was really not good last year. And hopefully they can improve in that area. Also, Leah Boston, I'm excited to see her play again next to Caitlin Clark. She's fun to watch. And Kelsey Mitchell is a bucket getter. So, again, the Fever look primed to make a deep playoff run. I think Caitlin Clark is going to have an MVP-like season. I wouldn't be surprised if she does win the MVP because of all the hype behind her in this basketball team. With the Fever are a top 2 team in the WNBA. She's going to win MVP in my opinion. And it's going to be good for the league because, again, I'm sure there'll be pushback. I'm sure there'll be haters. But I think at the end of the day, those critics will start to go away. And I think they're just embracing it. Hopefully they do, because if there's pushback and that becomes the main talking point, rather than discussing Caitlin Clark and what she's doing for your league and bringing in fans and bringing in revenue, then you got a problem on your hands. So we shall see what happens. I'm excited again. Shout out to Mychal Thompson because he just spoke facts. And, the players just got to get over it. Because if you don't like what you're seeing and how fans are paying attention and they want to invest in your product, then what are we doing here? Hope you guys enjoyed this video today. I'd love to hear your thoughts about what Mychal Thompson had to say about the WNBA stars and how they resent Caitlin Clark. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.